Today we're looking at Comprehension from Scholastic. It's a workbook for ages 8 through 9. That's Key Stage 2 in the UK. Year 4 if you like. It's indeed quite a comprehensive book. You get some 70 odd pages of content, split into 6 or 7 chapters here. Printed in full Technicolor, which is quite nice, with full hand-drawn animations. That's brilliant. You rarely see that. So as far as visual content goes, that's lovely. There's a simple guide for parents. It's fairly straightforward to use. The thing with the comprehension workbooks is that you don't get exact key for the solutions. So a lot of these are kind of free-form answers. So when you're doing them with your kid, you really have to go. One by one and read what they write, and it's not black and white binary answers. Now you see here that the visual style changes. The illustrations are most likely licensed from different sources, so it looks different section to section. But typically they kind of come from wherever the text or the content for that section has come from. So that's typically various books or stories like you have here, which are likely, and I haven't cross-checked all of them, also published by Collins. Stories, fairy tales and so forth, and obviously you draw the exercises from those. So as I said, it's about 6 or 7 sections here: retelling, literal questioning, prediction, inference, clarification, evaluation, and then quite a chunky review at the end. That's nearly 20 pages of review here. So that's very, very useful. As a book, it's surprisingly good for surprisingly clear for Scholastic, because sometimes they struggle with the visual style and keeping it consistent. This one is better than most. It's quite easy to distinguish what's the text you're working with, what are the questions, and it's fairly straightforward how you're supposed to be working through this. So how do we have it? How do we score it? I think for learning objectives, very, very clear. Let's give it a 9. Usability, good, but there's that little thing with the solutions or kind of sample solutions. So for parents, you'll have to sit with your kid and do the work. 6, production is great. Very little to say. Full color, you don't get that often. 8, impact. It will be impactful. 8, and value in the UK RRP is £6, which for a fairly chunky book is actually excellent. So we go 9 for that, for a total of just about 40, if I can count, which is pretty good for comprehension workbook. It's not easy to produce these for skills that don't come out kind of in binary solutions where you have to, where an adult has to evaluate the answers. So well done Scholastic. 40 out of 50.